This is the Fujifilm X Pro 2 digital camera. I can tell you the short answer is it's a great camera. If you want to get one, I would highly recommend it. I've been using this for a couple of months now. I'm very impressed. That's the short answer. It's very easy to use, and on fully automatic mode you can shoot away all day long. You don't have to know anything about the buttons or the dials or anything like that. And for someone who's transitioning from smartphone photography to full control photography, the automatic mode's a good little stepping stone. Smartphones are mirrorless cameras, obviously, because there's no mirror inside there, there's no room. And so this is the same kind of technology as your smartphone. It's mirrorless, there's no mirror, that's why it's so narrow. But I'm going to show you these settings, which are really simple. And you can get into doing photography with a real camera. This has got retro styling. This particular model has got retro styling. It looks like something your grandparents or your parents might have used years ago. It looks, there's no branding on the front or anything like that. It just looks like an old-fashioned camera. Because some people like that kind of thing. It's a simple form factor. The lenses are really good. But I'm not going to get into all that lenses and specifications. I'll put a link down below. You can go and look at all the specifications you like. But for someone who's transitioning from smartphones to digital photography on a proper camera, it can be a bit overwhelming to see all these buttons and dials and ISO and shutter priority and all that kind of stuff. So in this video, I'm just going to show you how to do it automatically. Now, you'll see these red dots in various places on the camera. There's one on the lens body. So that's the red dot means fully automatic. On this dial here, there's a dual function dial. You just pull it up to move things around. But if you see a little red dot, switch it to the red dot. Turn this, lift this up and turn that to the red dot. See those red dots there? And that's in there. That camera is in fully automatic mode. So with that, you can just turn it on. Take the lens cover off, of course. Now it will start to shoot straight away. It will take a photo. If you want to record video, you press the FN button like that. And it starts to record video. The other thing about this camera is you've got dual SD slots. You've got 2 slots for SD cards. The first slot is for video. I would recommend you get high speed SD cards, 64 gig or above, because believe it or not, this little camera has just had a firmware update and it now shoots in 4K. You know my feelings about 4K. It's great, but it uses a lot of memory, so you need a fast SD card to record it. So make sure if you're going to get one of these cameras, get yourself a fast SD card as well. I'll put links down below, you can check those things out. They're pretty cheap at the moment. A little bit of unboxing therapy. I bought these off of Amazon the other day from Transcend, and I think I paid like £9 for £9 each. I got 2 of them, and they're basically little micro SD cards, 64 gigabytes, and you've got the adapter there. So you just put that inside the adapter and you just pop it into your first slot. Make sure you get it right way around. That's it, you're off to the races. Simple. Now the thing about photography, I've mentioned it before, is that it makes you look at the world in a slightly different way. You start to look for photo opportunities in the most mundane things. So here's a selection of photographs of mundane things. Now, when you take a photograph of something that's mundane or everyday, you suddenly make it special. For whatever reason, suddenly people start looking at it and thinking, I've never noticed that before. So photographing the mundane is what makes photography unique, because each one of us has got our own view of the world. Now, you see these beautiful sunsets and got a sunset here you can have a look at. When you see beautiful photographs, you think, wow, that's amazing. But they're only amazing because the guy or the girl took the time to go and take that photograph. And you could see a waterfall, you could see a doorknob, you could see a light bulb. But suddenly it takes on a different aspect when you're doing photography, because you start to look at things that you don't really look at in everyday life. So I like photographing the mundane. And you don't have to go to exotic locations, although that's nice. You can photograph stuff just around where you live and around your house, even inside your house. And you've seen examples of that, no doubt, all over the place. Uh, Peter McKinnon, Peter McKinnon, the photographer, he'd done a whole video. Virtually all of his videos have some element of coffee making in them because he loves coffee. And he makes nice little short films about making a pot of coffee. Mundane, but fascinating to watch. And it shows that you can still get creative even with the most mundane of surroundings. That's what I try to do. I'm still working at it, same as all the rest of us. But give it a go. Get out and photograph your house, photograph your room, photograph your local area, and just crop it into the interesting bits. That's it. That's all there is to it. Very simple. And the picture quality out of this thing is amazing. Fujifilm are very well known for their film grades and their film emulsions for when they were doing the old film cameras. The smartphone and the camera are more or less the same size. It's a little bit wider, but it's a much smaller body than a DSLR like I'm shooting on now with a Canon 70D. It looks like an old camera. It looks like an old vintage camera, and it's been designed that way. It's a retro styled camera for people who like that kind of thing. But if you want to just go transfer from this to a full-on digital camera, and this is a professional level camera. And what do we mean when we say pro camera? A pro camera is usually associated with people who get paid for doing their photography work and video work. So it's professional quality. The quality is very good. But if you're transitioning from this, where everything's done for you, if you put all of those into red, or put all your settings into red, you don't have to think about anything, right? The camera is in fully automatic mode and it will produce amazing results. Fully automatic, so you can transition from your smartphone to this very easily indeed. It's as simple as that. So that's fully automatic mode on the Fujifilm X Pro 2, and with that you can shoot away to your heart's content. Now I've been using this for a couple of months and I'm impressed with it, very impressed. Apart from it looking retro and stylish, it's a very good camera. It takes great stills and it takes great video. The video is a bit of an add-on. It's a bit of a, they added it on secondary. It doesn't seem to really be prominent on it. But on the back, if you go to the menu system, the menu system is like this. Okay, and you just scroll through the various things. It's quite simple. It looks a bit intimidating when you first get to it, but it's really simple actually after you've been using it for a while. A couple of hours and you'll get your head around the whole thing. And you'll be shooting manually, because that's the thing about this thing. This is like a stepping stone between smartphone photography and full control photography, which is where you get control over the lighting, the shutter priority, the shutter speed, the ISO, and then you can start getting into composition, how the thing actually looks. So it's a great little camera. They're not cheap. This is not a cheap camera. They're expensive, but this has been around for about 4 years now, so you can probably pick up a used one fairly reasonably. But they're still around, they're still out there. I'll put links down below to the settings and all the rest of it if you're interested in that kind of thing. But I just wanted to show you how to use this camera quite simply without baking your brain. And it is easy to use. And the COVID-19 pandemic is still running riot. And a lot of people are being asked to stay at home now and self-isolate. 35 million in the UK have been told they've got restricted movement at the moment because the pandemic is taking off again. The numbers are going up, people are dying, and people are stuck at home. So it's mental health month as well. So what you should try and do is, while you're sitting at home, instead of sitting watching TV all day long, go and pick up a hobby. Go and look at my guitar videos, teach yourself how to play the guitar, or take up painting, or just do something creative with your time so you're not sitting there just listening to the news all day long, driving yourself batty. Get creative with your time. Try and do something useful with your time. That's the X Pro 2 from Fujifilm. Great camera, not cheap, but a good quality camera. And if you're transitioning from smartphone photography to regular photography, it's a good stepping stone. And if you've got time on your hands, like most of us have at the moment, you'll have the time to go and practice with it, and you'll eventually get to full manual control of the camera, and then things really get interesting. But it's a great little camera for just getting good pictures. Look after yourself, stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.